A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there to my channel, the Twinflame Union. For personal readings, guidance on dream interpretation, counseling and therapies, please go through the description box first, and once you are sure, totally sure, then please write to me at thesunamoon@gmail.com. Also, when it comes to Twinflame intuitive readings, I prefer to not know anything about your journey so that we get the best answers from the tarot domain. But in case of therapies, we obviously have to dig deeper into your past, and we need to go through many places which you may not have even thought about. And now I would be relaying the love letter by the Divine Masculine. So let's get started. My dear love, I have finally realized that life is a combination of good and bad situations. You can not have only good or only bad. I wanted only good and nothing else, and I didn't realize when my attachment to remain comfortable turned into an addiction. And they say whatever you try to run away from will haunt you in some shape, size, or form. Life isn't easy, but I'm writing to you because I want to share my realization that even discomfort is worth it, because this discomfort, this uneasiness, this pain made me keep coming back to you again and again. I ran away a few times after assuming many false things about you, after not hearing you out, after not believing you at all, after pushing you away, after behaving as if you don't even exist. Who was I fooling? I have tried a lot to live my life with logic, but now it seems the same logic is mocking me constantly. It is as if my own decision based on those calculations are laughing at me now. The pain I have been through makes me feel like I need to remove some covers, some veils, some layers, and learn via experience and emotions. You would think that it's very easy, right? But no. Ask me about it. It has probably been the hardest thing to figure out so far. I feel like giving up. I feel like surrendering to you. I feel like apologizing for not seeing the other side or for not putting myself into your shoes. I'm sure life hasn't been easy on you as well, but I've started to think like this now. There was a time when I was only thinking about my own self, and that too from a limited or from an incomplete perspective. This realization of mine happened after I spent all my time doing things that I thought would make me feel happy. Till the time I have all these activities to keep myself busy, then no negative emotion can touch me, is what I had assumed. Technically, I had thought that I will not totally forget about you, but for some time, I think I did. For some time, only when everything was looking very nice. It was a very short phase, very short period of time. Because I was adamant on not thinking about you. I was willing to do anything for that. I don't know why I was acting that way. But you kept recurring in my mind. When I started thinking about you again, it was only when my mind could not keep me trapped. I ran away from you to escape into an easy world, a shiny world. But all the activities I was spending all my time into started looking meaningless. And I wouldn't have understood this until and unless I didn't experience real pain and torture. Those things I did thinking that my future relied on it, but it came crashing down. Not only they crashed, but I experienced immense pain because things didn't crash just once or twice. It kept crashing down again and again and again. And one fine day, I began to question, why is this happening to me and why can't I be stable? Because I thought that I was doing the right thing. All our arguments, especially the things you had said to me, the words you had shared with me, or at that time I didn't want any of that advice, to be honest. But maybe at these situations, those advice came in handy. Many things became evident to me. Earlier, I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't listening. I didn't want to. I didn't feel like. But still, when all the time passed away, every single word you had begged me to listen to you started taking shape and form. It was bizarre because you weren't around and I couldn't share it with you. You weren't available anymore and I was so embarrassed to even face you. I fear a lot and I understand that any self-respecting person won't care about a person who was so stubborn, rigid, and humiliating. But I also know that you are kind and I know you loved me. If it really was true love, then I have this intuition or feeling, a word that I could never relate myself with, that things are going to be okay and you and me are going to be together someday. And I must say that I've started feeling better than before ever since I started surrendering to the feelings I have for you. I learned this technique somehow that at least when your thoughts come to me, I don't have to push them away. I accept them and I feel the bliss. The same thoughts that used to make me want to run away and put my mind to an escape plan have now become my peace. I don't fight with those thoughts. I let them come and shower on me. But I don't also run after them because then it makes me sad. But I'm learning on how to make peace with the negative thoughts, those that remind me of my mistakes. With the help of this type of surrendering, I have started seeing a new light. I can feel better and I have new feelings for you as well. I can see your good qualities. I can see your kindness and love towards me. I can see your patience and your understanding. Your angry words and frustration is obvious now and I don't despise it. I feel that your anger was totally justified. You tried your best back then and it made me think that you probably knew what I did not know back then. At least you knew that what we have is true love and not a painful connection, which has no use, which is futile. Of course, it is not futile because it taught me a lot. I have learned few things about pain as well. Pain is all around. You can run away from it and probably there is no need to do so. So I stopped suffering how I used to. In fact, I've used suffering as a tool as well. Each time I suffer, I know I have to work it out. I need to bring a change. I need to think radically. The more I think radically, the more it brings me back to you. I feel good about the things you do. You are doing something really worthwhile. And it's inspiring what you do. I like your confidence. On how strong you were to tell me that we belong to each other. And then, even in your silence, I feel your confidence. As if you're trying to tell me or you're already telling me that hadn't I told you before, honey? Didn't I tell you that what we have is real? Now also I get thoughts that trouble me, but as I accept that I love you, I feel better. I had hated the push and pull between us, and I honestly didn't know for how long it was gonna go for. This pull and push was not something that affected only you, it affected me also a lot. There was no defined time for how long are we gonna keep doing this, and at that point in time, this push and pull, this whole thing actually made me feel that you don't love me. It wasn't really my fault completely because I didn't even understand it. I was so confused by it myself. And I hated the incompletedness. I hated the strange communication. And I hated the fact that you used to hurt my ego so much. Yes, I know I used to have an ego, and you were touching in the places, the areas that used to really upset me. And it used to make me feel that you don't love me at all. But it was my fault to even think like that. I was extra sensitive when it came to you. And even though I hated the strange communication pattern we had and how much it used to make me angry, but now I try to decipher the same talks. I decipher those thoughts, the patterns, and I realize that I didn't know what I know now. And obviously, because I didn't know fully, I acted in a certain way. This is not a justification, or maybe it is, but I'm no longer blaming anyone. But I know I overreacted back then out of some fears that it's not worth it, it's not working out, it's too problematic. But now I know better, and I do think about how to fix it. I am not focusing on the problem or on the differences, on the fights. I am now focusing on how to accept that this is how eventually all relationships have problems. No relationship is perfect. And what I was looking for was a perfect relationship. Now I want to think about how to make it better and how to come up with ideas that can make it better. Right now I understand that no one can run away from pain, and pain is also a teacher. The more I ran, the more I faced it. If not from you, then from someone else. And when someone else would treat me so horribly, I used to actually think that you have never done those things to me that those people did. And still I punished you. When you really love someone, you understand that taking so much pain is worth it. And pain is not even there when you stop taking things personally. I was taking things very personally. I thought that you were saying something to me, that I was inadequate, that I was not okay for you, that I had many problems in me, that I was not worthy of you. And at that time it felt like you were doing all of that to put me down, to humiliate me. And now when I think of the same things, I see some of the things were like a joke, some of the things were just statements, and some of the things were you being honest about your frustrations. And what did I do? I did the opposite. Instead of pacifying you or showing you how much I love you or believing that, yeah, you do love me, I looked for more validation and I got none. Another thing that I learned from all of these episodes is that there is no one outside of me that is making me go through pain. Everything is coming through to me via me. And I remember once you had told me this, that we are responsible for our lives and what we see around us. And it didn't make any sense to me. But after I went through these many experiences, I realized that there's a lot of truth in it. Because it was on how my own emotions, my own feelings, or my own understanding about life was the reason that I was going through pain. I was very attached to my identity, my body, or all the things around me. I wasn't close to my soul. You have brought me close to my soul. Something which I wasn't even thinking about. And the more I think about it, the more I feel better that at least I'm doing something better now or something real. So being in love with you is no longer a problem for me. Rather, it's a gift. And I'm extremely grateful to God for giving me a gift that has taken me closer to my real feelings, taken me closer to true love, and most importantly, taken me closer to you. To you, my love, to you.